What's going on, guys? I'm Fuller with Custom Offsets, Custom Offsets TV. We got Dustin, who somehow has managed to put himself back in the shop, which is good news. We're slowly moving back in there. So Dustin got to go in a little bit early, so we can all be jealous of that because he's back there and it's way cooler than sitting here in my spare bedroom. But yeah, that's that. Side note, we already filmed this video. I didn't turn my microphone on, so now we're doing it again. We got an episode of This or That. Keaton's hanging out with us in the Google Hangouts. He's going to ask us a whole bunch of questions that you guys asked, and we're going to answer them. Here we go.
Custom wrap or paint with stock interior, or stock paint and custom interior?
Honestly, I have never been one to really customize my interior. I've done a radio. You know, I've put in radios and stuff. Yeah, shift knob, but custom iPad dash. That's not me. I don't have the skills for that.
Yeah, I don't think I really have either, other than the shift knobs and stuff like that. Yeah.
Well, and yeah, I guess more people are going to see the outside, so if you're going for looks or attention, or you want people to recognize the vehicle, you want to win shows, having the outside of your vehicle done up is, I think, maybe more important than the inside. But that's not to discredit, throwing in a good sound system, I think, is always a good option. I spend a lot of time in my vehicles, so having a quality sound system is important, but a lot of modern vehicles come with good sound systems nowadays anyway, or you can get the factory Bose package or whatever it is, you can get some good stuff in there. So I guess for me, yeah, I would go with either the wrap or paint on the outside versus a full custom interior.
And you can do some really cool stuff. I've seen guys do some awesome Raspberry Pi ran iPad or Android tablet dashes and stuff, and it's neat, but it takes a lot of work to do it.
Yeah. The only thing I think I might do on the interior would be give me one of those Rolls-Royce Starlight headliners. Those are sweet.
What's more underrated, 09 to 14 F-150 or 07 to 13 Sierra?
I was just looking at these trucks the other day only because we were driving around in one of them, and I think the 09 to 14 F-150, for the price you pay for those trucks, because they've come down quite a bit, you get a pretty good looking truck. I know actually a lot of people that kind of prefer the headlight style on the 09 to 14s than the 15 and up, which I don't know. They're blocky and square, which makes it a modern looking vehicle. The interior, especially the navigation system, kind of sucks. It was Sync 2 back in the day, and the screen is just is garbage, at least compared to what we're used to nowadays. But that's an easy fix too, right? Throw in a doubled in aftermarket radio with Apple CarPlay and you've got your problem solved. Correct.
Yeah, I think those trucks look really good too, and I know we were just talking about this the other day, but those are that's the first generation that you got the EcoBoost in, which made a lot of people really mad when it came out.
Yeah, made a lot of people mad, but at the same time, it was their most popular selling. And I think, they sold a lot based on fuel economy, but the truth of the matter is the V8 and the V6 are within a few miles per gallon.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
They didn't really get as good fuel economy as what Ford wanted them to.
Correct.
I have friends who still get, somewhere from 11 to 13 miles per gallon, and it's that's not any better than the V8.
No, correct. But yeah, I like those trucks. I think they look good. There was, at a previous job I had, we had a whole fleet of them actually, and they were pretty reliable when they came out. So, yeah, I think that truck is slept on a little bit.
2020 Tundra or 2020 Titan?
Tundra. I almost forgot what I was doing there again. I don't know. I'm just losing it today. I've been stuck in my dang house for too long. 2020 Tundra, because I always pick a Toyota, and I'm just going to stick with it. It's become a thing now, and I'm going to do it. But honestly, the 2020 Tundra is a good truck. Get a big old V8 in it. The truck itself is pretty large. The interior is spacious. Then when it comes to off-road stuff, you got the TRD option for you there. Or you can get the, I don't know, what do they have? Limited, Platinum, the 1794.
1794
There's a lot of
neat,
cool, A lot of cool variations of that truck. And I'm sure people will be like, why'd you buy a Japanese truck? Because, you know what? It's a pretty good truck.
Because I can. I'm going to go with the Titan, strictly because of the Titan XD. Which
Yeah, you're gonna get that weird 5-liter Cummins.
5-liter V8 Cummins, which is nothing like anything Cummins has really ever made before, but it's cool. It makes a bunch of power and a literal metric boatload of torque. So like,
Yes.
I don't know. I've always thought that was a really cool idea. It was nice to see Nissan come into the diesel half-ton market, and rather than try to play in with like the economy diesel, the really little,
It's like not even a half ton though. At the same time, it's like a 5/8 truck. 'Cause
Right.
It's more than a half ton, but not quite a 3/4 ton.
3/4 ton.
You got a 5/8 Titan.
Yeah, I don't know.
What are
I
you
just thought it
doing,
was really
Nissan?
cool to see those guys come in and be like, we're gonna throw a 5-liter V8 turbo diesel in there, So
Yeah.
plus they get depending on what package you get, like the interior is pretty nice in those as well. I don't think it's anything super earth-shattering, but they look good.
Hey, but what if you had one of those Nissan vans, 4x4 conversion?
Oh.
I'd maybe partake in one of those. I'm gonna go live in it. Since being in my house, it's too small, crammed in here. I might as well go live in a van.
In a van down by the river.
Truck wheels on a car or car wheels on a truck?
Oh,
This is
funny
an
you should
interesting
ask.
question.
Not gonna yet disclose what we have done, but I'm gonna go with truck wheels on a car for that specific reason. Now, I don't think everybody else should do that. I think it's probably more likely that someone would put car wheels on a truck, but for me particularly, I'm gonna go with truck wheels on a car.
Yeah, I think it's tough to make car or truck wheels look good on a car in most cases. There are certain applications where it works, but for the most part, it's a lot easier to take a car wheel, especially on a lowered truck. You start looking at a lot of these companies are making 20x10s and 20x11s that fit on a lower truck, and they look really good doing it. So I would go
get like Escalade. Is that a truck? Or a Grand Cherokee? Is that a truck? SRT8 Grand Cherokee lowered on some Belgian wheels, gonna look pretty hot. And yeah, do you call that a truck wheel? Do you call it a car wheel? I don't know. Really, the differences here are sizes, but that's why it's so difficult to put truck wheels on cars. Like everything's just too big. You don't have the room in the wheel wells. There's not really lift kits available for most cars out there unless you go to some guy in Russia and have something custom made. It's just not as physically possible. But there are people that do it.
The amount of foreshadow in that last comment was ridiculous.
Hey, I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anybody did or didn't do that, but it's things are happening. There was that guy at the showcase. What was it, last year?
Last year, I
2
think,
years
yeah.
ago, maybe. What did he have? Drop stars on a Jaguar. Yeah. Yeah, it was like wide bodied, and they're like 20x12s. It's a big truck wheel.
Yeah, it's no joke.
So can you do it? Yeah. I mean, either way, but for me, like I said, truck wheels on a car.
Bonus question.
If you could do any career without needing training or worrying about money, what would you do?
Any career without needing training or worrying about money. I mean, I want to be a professional driver. That's like my thing, is I want to travel around the world and drive new vehicles and test stuff. I want to be Valentino Balboni. I want to be the test driver for Lamborghini or something like that. That sounded like a pretty sweet job. Valentino Balboni tested out every Lamborghini, and that was his job until he was forced to retire because Italy doesn't let you work that long. Not like the States where they're like, overtime, and then work till you're dead. So different story in different countries. But I guess that would be my dream job, and I wouldn't really care how much I get paid because I'd be driving something new every day, and it would be super interesting. But I don't know that I need a lot of training for that.
Yeah, I imagine you could probably just hop right in behind the wheel and make it happen.
Spent lots of hours on a racetrack. I mean, I'm not the best driver out there. I'm not gonna like be that arrogant, but I can drive. Dustin's seen it.
Yeah, he's pretty good. I've seen it before. I actually kind of coupled on that. I think it would be super cool to like own a racetrack and put all the events on and stuff. I get a lot of enjoyment out of planning events and executing events and watching people have a good time at that. So like to own a racetrack, like if someone were to hand me the keys to Road America and we're like, here, just do with it as you wish.
Dude, I can't imagine.
That'd be awesome.
That would be so cool. Yeah, because then you get to see all the different stuff too. You have a superbike race one day. You could have a open wheel race one day. You know, stock cars the next. You can do whatever you want. Heck, they've ran trophy trucks at Road America before. You know, they put jumps down the front straight, and it's like, really? But yeah, you know, Garrett's out there with the Freedom Factory, and that would be something cool too. If we could pull something like that off. There's a lot of awesome jobs out there, you know.
Yeah. You know, maybe I would just want to be Fuller from Custom Offsets.
I don't know. You got big shoes to fill, Dustin. All right, that's another episode of This or That. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to ask us any questions, you can actually do it just by putting them down in the comments below, and then we'll make Keaton scrub through it for 14 hours on end and put them all back together for the next episode. So make sure you subscribe, check out the newest videos that drop, and if you want to check out anything Wheel Start suspension related, we got all that kind of stuff on our website at customoffsets.com. Peace. Probably shouldn't do the shoo thing because it's two people ending a video. Yeah. Okay, bye.